What's up, Muscle and Strength? This is IFBB Pro Jordan Hutchinson. Today we're gonna do my chicken and rice bowl. So we're gonna head out to the store, get our ingredients, then we'll come back here and cook everything up for you guys. So we'll see you there. We're driving to Harris Teeter. It's one of my favorite food stores close by, and gonna get all our ingredients for this meal. I really love to make my food taste as good as possible. I like to spend my time on my food. To me, if you spend a little more time in preparation, you may not sit as long with the meal trying to force feed it down. You don't have to be a chef, but if you put a little more effort, you can go a long way and make it a lot easier to diet. We're here, guys, Harris Teeter. First is produce. So I love zucchini. That's my favorite veggie to eat. I usually eat that all day. Sometimes I'll do asparagus, but generally I just do zucchini. Only got a few here, this tiny little zucchini. But I got more at home. So we're just gonna get these 3 to stock up and we'll cook the rest at home. Next, this is my favorite fat source to add to really any meal that involves rice. It's gonna be avocados. So we gotta find just the right avocado. You don't wanna get ones that are too green like this is rock solid. So this one seems pretty good, it's pretty soft. These ones should work for us. So we'll just get a couple of those. Usually I only do about 33 grams per meal. That's about 5 grams of fat, so we don't need a whole lot. This will last me a few meals. So here's a little tip. This is a little more pricey, but for you guys that are always prepping on the road, this is something I suggest to some of my clients. If you don't want to put oil in your meal, or you're prepping the night before, you don't want the avocado to get weird on your meal, and you want it fresh, you can get these guacamole packs like this, 57 grams per pack, so 10 grams of fat in each of these. So I would use half of this for my meal, and that's a good convenient way to have fresh avocado on your meal when you're prepping for the road. I like to put chopped red onions in my chicken and rice meal, or I'll cut up some green onions as well, depending on what I'm feeling. But this meal specifically, I do red onions and saute it in the pan. It really brings out the flavor. All right, so usually I get my chicken tenderloins at Walmart or Sam's, to be honest with you guys. Reason being is I'm willing to go a little bit cheaper on meats that don't have as much fat in them. So I get grass-fed beef because it has more fat, and usually toxins in animal meat products are stored more in fat. So I'm more willing to go cheap on my lean meats like chicken, but everything else I needed was at this store, so we just went ahead and got this. It's $6.99 or $5.99 a pound here. Usually at Walmart it's only like $3.50, or at Sam's, so that's where I usually get it. It's gonna be a little bit cheaper, but I prefer the taste of chicken tenderloins versus a whole chicken breast. And this is what's gonna help you guys with your digestion. A lot of people take all these digestive aids, supplements, all this stuff, when really you should just give variety to your food. And it's gonna help a lot more with your digestion that way. So what I started adding to my food is sauerkraut. And so I just do like 15 or 20 grams in a few of my meals per day, and it has really helped my digestion a lot. We want some jasmine rice for our meal. A lot of people do white rice. I prefer jasmine. I'm actually gonna grab a bag of this Mahatma jasmine rice. What I generally do is I will buy this in 25-pound bags from Sam's or Costco or something like that. But for the sake of today, I'm gonna get this bag for us. But if you guys wanna save some cash, always buy in bulk. I buy my chicken in bulk, I buy my rice in bulk. Super cheap carb source. That's why a lot of us bodybuilders use this, and it's very easily digestible. Okay, so we're gonna start cooking everything. First, I'm gonna get the rice going. If you guys don't have a rice cooker at home, I definitely suggest that you get one. So we're just gonna cook a couple cups of rice here. That way I have some for my next meal as well, and tonight if I need it. since we're making all this from scratch, just gonna click rice. That's all I gotta do. The zucchini, I'm just gonna chop it up now. We're gonna air fry the zucchini. I've already heated up the air fryer. It's gonna be 400 for like 10 to 15 minutes. I just put it in here and I keep mixing it around till it's cooked really well. I just spray the bottom. I'll pour these in here. I just do a quick spray of oil on the top, just so some of the seasoning sticks. And I like to use some kind of like salt and pepper seasoning for my vegetables. This one's called Black and Tan Steak Rub by Fire and Smoke. You can get this at Walmart. This one's my favorite seasoning for any kind of vegetables, really. We'll see if I can do this without crying on camera, because these onions generally make me tear up. I slam this down.
Nice.
And then it just chops it up for me, so I don't have to pay for pre-chopped onions at the store.
Oh, that's fun.
My wife found this on Amazon. She finds everything on Amazon. So we're gonna cut open the chicken tenderloins, and there's really not much to cut off of these. That's one of the other reasons why I love to use chicken tenderloins versus chicken breasts. This is like the only part you gotta cut off, that little tendon, and it's done. You don't have to cut anything up. You don't have to cut a bunch of fat off. It's literally this little tendon, and you don't lose a lot of meat when you buy these tenderloins. Whereas you may lose a bunch of the meat when you get whole chicken breasts. And then whenever the zucchini's done, we'll just throw this in the air fryer, put some seasoning on it, and then we'll be ready to saute our meal in the pan. All right, so we're gonna leave it on air crisp at 400, and I'm just gonna let it heat up for a minute so it heats up the grill grate for the chicken, and we'll throw those on for like 10 minutes. So we're just gonna put these, spread them out. They'll cook really quick. Same company as what I use for the zucchini, this Fire and Smoke. You can get this at Walmart too. Chicka Licka Bam Bam. It's a mouthful. But this is the best chicken seasoning I've ever used. I actually, guys, I have my own coaching app that I use for this. So what I'm using to look at my diet is actually on my own Hutchinson Fitness app, which works with my coaching. So you can see here, I have it all plugged in, which all my clients have access to this on their plans as well. So in this meal is this meal 2, which is 175 grams of chicken, 370 rice, 33 grams of avocado, and then 100 grams of zucchini as well is what we're doing. We go ahead and throw this pan on high, spray it, and then we're gonna go ahead and get the onions going on here. So we're gonna throw the whole meal in here, and I like to cook this really well. It gets my rice nice and crispy. That's my favorite thing, is when I cook this in the pan and it crisps some of the rice. So we're gonna let that go for a few minutes, then I'm gonna show you guys what sauce I use to saute it with. I know this requires extra time, and I know not everybody can do this, but if you have a day off work and you wanna make your food taste really good, or you have a kitchen at work or whatever, you can use the pan, or if it's just the weekend. Otherwise, this meal is just as good in a prep container. Most important step. So this is the sauce that I'm going to saute this with. Flavor Dawn sauce by Flavor Gang, code Hutch. If you order online, it's gonna save you some money. It's a sriracha maple. So I put 1 serving of this and cook it into the food, and then you guys will see in a minute, I top it with just a little of this sweet poppy sauce. It's the strongest sauce from Flavor Gang, so you don't need a whole lot. But those two flavors together are my favorite. This is kind of a sweet to mix with some of the heat from the sriracha maple. Super, super good. And then sauerkraut. And this is also gonna cool this meal off a little quicker because it's refrigerated. I'm just gonna weigh out about 15 grams. This is fermented cabbage basically, so don't get turned off on it until you try it. It's super, super good. Mix that up a bit. And now we're gonna do 33 grams of avocado. The last step before I get to eat this incredible meal is the sweet poppy sauce. I usually only have to do like 10 grams of this stuff and it flavors the whole thing. Drip a little bit on top. These sauces are really strong, so honestly, you don't even need that much of them, but they're so, so good. Perfect. All right, so that was my ultimate chicken and rice bowl. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe below.